Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. According to the latest data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 5 new Massachusetts counties have jumped from low to medium risk for COVID-19. Just 1 week ago, only Dukes County, which includes Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, were in the medium risk category. Fast forward to this week, Dukes County has jumped to the high-risk category, while Barnstable, Middlesex, Suffolk, Norfolk, and Plymouth counties all went from low to medium risk. The rest of the state still remains at low risk. Over the past month, risk levels had been steadily decreasing, but the latest round of data shows the risk is starting to tick up once again. The news remains mostly positive across the rest of New England, with 2 states entirely in the low-risk category. On Friday, Massachusetts DPH announced that the daily COVID-19 metric updates will now be transitioning to weekly updates. When the pandemic began, DPH was providing fresh counts of infected residents, hospitalized patients, and COVID-19 deaths 7 days a week. Dr. Helen Boucher, interim dean of Tufts Medical School of Medicine and a member of the governor's medical advisory board, said, quote, "Given that Massachusetts has one of the best vaccination and booster percentages in the nation, these changes make sense at this stage in our COVID-19 response," end quote. In conjunction with this, the DPH will also be removing higher education specific data sections. Starting next week, the weekly COVID-19 vaccination report will be released on Wednesdays rather than Thursdays. The number of COVID cases has started to rise this past week across a number of South Shore communities. The rise in cases comes amid concerns about a new COVID-19 variant, BA5, which is the most infectious yet, and it's believed to account for more than half of the nation's cases. The new variant is said to infect people who are vaccinated and boosted, as well as those who have gained immunity from prior infections. 6 communities had rates higher than the statewide average of 19.3 cases a day per 100,000 people. The communities include Hanover with a rate of 27.3, Randolph with a rate of 24.1, Rockland with a rate of 20.5, Hull with a rate of 20.4, Hingham with a rate of 19.9, and Braintree with a rate of 19.5. The state is still monitoring and reporting health trends. On Friday, the last daily metrics that will be released by the state showed that over 26,000 molecular tests were conducted and 1,850 new positive cases were reported. Currently, 503 people are hospitalized in Massachusetts and 45 are in the ICU. 19 new deaths were also reported. The town of Braintree also continues to monitor COVID data from the state. In the last week, the town hall hasn't reported any new positive cases. The town hall website currently shows a total of 10,665 positive cases since the start of the pandemic. There have been no new fatalities reported in 2 months, keeping Braintree's total deaths at 137. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
The COVID-19 vaccine doesn't contain the virus, so you can't get COVID from the shot. You may experience things like muscle aches, fever, or tiredness, but these are most likely signs that your body is building immunity to protect against the virus. Learn more.
Welcome back. Voicing his concerns, Braintree School Superintendent James Lee said spending $1.5 million on a feasibility study of Braintree High School before it is admitted to the state's school construction funding process doesn't make sense. The study of Braintree High would determine whether to renovate or replace the whole school. Lee said the study is required by the state school building authority once a project is accepted into the program. But if the town did the study before it was approved for the program, it would have to be done all over again unless they choose to pay for the full cost of a new high school, as the program pays for parts of the cost of school construction. Numerous parents have been asking why the town isn't yet doing anything, and as Lee explained to the council, it would be a waste of money to do so until they are accepted into the program. Lee also mentioned to the council that plans are being developed for replacing the roofs of the Highlands and Liberty elementary schools, which have been accepted into the state's accelerated repair program. The vacant Lord & Taylor department store location at the South Shore Plaza is up for talks as the potential home for a new life science company. According to the Boston Globe, the real estate arm of Hudson's Bay Company, a retail holding company that also owns Saks Fifth Avenue, is converting the Lord & Taylor locations at the Natick Mall, the Burlington Mall, and the South Shore Plaza into life science ready space. The company is capitalizing on the growing trend of department store closures, converting retail space into mixed-use developments and life science space. The suburbs are becoming increasingly attractive to life science companies that are turning away from core industry communities such as Boston and Cambridge because of skyrocketing real estate prices. The Lord & Taylor locations are ideal for life science entities because of their high ceilings, spacious parking lots, and high loading bays. On Thursday, Braintree's Caritas Communities, a nonprofit provider of low-income housing and services with a mission to prevent homelessness, announced that Michael C. Lee has been named as the organization's new Chief Financial Officer. Lee brings 35 years of experience in strategic management consulting, specializing in financial systems implementation and reporting, technology, and operational metrics. Executive Director Karen Cassell-Mitteranato said, quote, "Michael is bringing his extensive expertise and varied experience to Caritas, which is a very complex organization encompassing 33 buildings on 28 properties in 11 separate financial entities with a myriad of financing and affordable housing restrictions," end quote. Caritas Communities, which has a location in Braintree located at 15 Holbrook Ave, strives to prevent homelessness by providing very low-income individuals with permanent housing, support, a sense of community, and expanded opportunities. For more information, you can visit www.caritascommunities.org. The Sunset Lake concert series are back in full swing, taking place every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the lake's Thomas and Pamela Whalen Gazebo. The concerts, which are sponsored by Mayor Charles Kokoris and the Braintree Electric Light Department, have had Curtis Fancy on June 28th playing some Irish and folk music to get you moving, and Wolfpack on July 5th, who played some popular pop, rock, and country covers. Gainesville Road joins Sunset Lake for the next concert on July 12th, along with a Party in the Park cookout with free hamburgers and hot dogs. If you missed these concerts or want to watch again, you can find it on BCAM TV's public channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 28, or you can catch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Protect yourself from mosquito and tick bites. Use an EPA-approved repellent anytime you're outdoors. Spray it on your hands first, then spread it on your face, neck, arms, and legs. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. A harmful red tide has swept into the shoreline of Massachusetts, prompting state officials to initiate a shellfishing ban. Red tide is a toxic algal bloom that can create biotoxins that accumulate in shellfish, making them harmful for consumption and can cause paralytic shellfish poisoning, a serious illness caused by eating shellfish contaminated with harmful neurotoxins. On June 23rd, North Shore cities and towns were notified of closing indefinitely to the harvesting of blue mussels due to the red tide. Those towns include Beverly, Danvers, Manchester, Marblehead, Peabody, Revere, Salem, and Swampscott. But the full ban on shellfishing currently extends from the North Shore down to the South Shore. The most recent monitoring has caused the Division of Marine Fisheries to close shellfishing in Gloucester, Newburyport, Essex, Ipswich, Newbury, Rockport, Rowley, and Salisbury, along with other beaches across the North Shore. The State Department is also closing blue mussel harvesting on South Shore beaches, including Hull, Cohasset, Scituate, Marshfield, Duxbury, Plymouth, the City of Boston, Marshfield, and Kingston. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker said that he would support a proposal from state legislative leaders to provide a one-time tax refund to eligible taxpayers. Democratic legislative leaders announced their plan of giving $250 to eligible individual taxpayers and $500 to eligible married couples. The governor in a statement said, quote, "If this makes it to my desk, I will certainly sign it, but I would hope it would be the start of a series of initiatives between now and the end of the session where we do some of this other stuff," end quote. The current legislative session ends at the end of July, and Massachusetts lawmakers have several priorities still left to complete, including the next state budget. According to a joint statement issued by House Speaker Ronald Mariano, Senate President Karen E. Spilka and others said that eligibility for the one-time tax refund payments will be based on annual income reported in 2021. Those eligible will need to have earned at least $38,000, and the maximum will be $100,000 for individuals or $150,000 for couples. According to local weather experts, a lack of rain this year has put the South Shore on a path to the most severe drought it's experienced since 2016. Some towns have already asked residents to take steps to conserve water. Only 2 inches of rain fell in the month of June, and all of 2022 has been a drier year on average. Don McCaslin from the Blue Hill Observatory Science Center said, quote, "Right now we're on a similar track of 2016 to 2017. Although it is too early to draw conclusions about the recent pattern of little rain, the years of dry conditions suggest a change in rainfall cycles," end quote. If the region continues to get below average levels of rain in the coming months, by the end of the year, the drought could become as severe as it was in 2016, when Norwell had to fine residents for breaking restrictions on irrigation and Scituate had to consider tapping into neighboring towns' water supplies. Bertucci's Italian restaurant is celebrating 40 years of business, and in celebration, the Massachusetts-based chain is offering a special throwback menu with prices like it's the 1980s. For 4 days in July, the chain will offer dine-in customers the chance to get menu items for as little as $3.25 to $6 for 10 menu items. This is a nearly 75% discount to commemorate the prices of the first restaurant, which opened in Somerville in 1981. Robert Earl, CEO of Bertucci's, said this promotion is his way of offering help to customers during uncertain times. The throwback pricing promotion, available for dine-in only customers, has its first 2 days on July 6th and 7th, but don't worry, you can enjoy these same prices again on July 13th and the 14th. A month-long Disney production that was set to be filmed in Norwood is now off, according to Norwood town manager Tony Mazzucco. The production manager of the Disney movie confirmed in a statement saying, quote, "Unfortunately, the schedules of our team could not line up properly, and we weren't able to pull everything together to make this movie happen at this time. We have decided the best course of action is to postpone the film until we can get these elements to align," end quote. The production would have required some road closures and parking disruptions, including the closure of Central Street for most of the month. In response to the news, the Norwood town manager said, quote, "We were looking forward to welcoming the production team to Norwood and for audiences across the world to be able to see all our town has to offer through this film. We hope that similar opportunities to showcase Norwood will present themselves in the future," end quote. Thank you for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Mosquitoes are out. Protect yourself from mosquito bites and the illnesses they can cause, like Triple E and West Nile virus. When outdoors, use an EPA-approved repellent and wear protective clothing. Learn more at mass.gov/mosquitoes and ticks.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here are some new movie and binge-worthy show recommendations. First up, Stranger Things Volume 2 was finally released on July 1st. The series takes place in 1980s Indiana, following a group of young friends who witness a number of supernatural forces and secret government exploits. As they search for answers, the children unravel a series of extraordinary mysteries. Season 4 is split between 3 main plot lines. Taking place in 1986, the group who remain in Hawkins, Indiana, must face a new supernatural threat known as Vecna. while the group in California try to find their way to get to Eleven, who is dealing with her own battle of managing to regain her powers. All the while, Joyce and Murray try to break Jim Hopper out of a prison in Russia. The last 2 new episodes of Season 4 add up to about 4 hours worth of binging. Nancy, who is now aware of Vecna's plan, helps the gang figure out a way to stop him, while Eleven has finally regained her powers and attempts to find a way back to Hawkins. Along the way, Joyce, Murray, and Hopper attempt to find their way out of the Soviet Union while discovering even more unsettling threats. You can watch Volume 2 of Season 4 on Netflix. Next in entertainment, The Man from Toronto follows a New York City screw-up named Teddy, played by Kevin Hart, who is mistaken for the world's deadliest assassin, known only as The Man from Toronto, played by Wood Harrelson. When the two wind up in the same Airbnb, Teddy is mistaken for the man from Toronto and has to play along in order to save his life. Teddy then finds himself having to work with the FBI and has to pretend to be the man from Toronto. But things begin to get even messier when Teddy meets the real assassin, Randy, who decides it's in his best interest to continue with the rumor that Teddy is actually the man from Toronto. You can watch The Man from Toronto on Netflix. And finally, for fans of Despicable Me, or anyone looking for a movie to take the kiddos to this weekend, Minions: The Rise of Gru tells the origin story of 12-year-old Gru living in 1970 suburbia, plotting to take over the world from his basement. Though it's not going particularly well when Gru crosses paths with the Minions, who also become his unexpected family. Together they build their first lair, design their first weapons, and strive to execute their first missions. You can watch Minions: The Rise of Gru in theaters now. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.